to know more, they can ask in the interview. But you're not going to get an interview if you list every single job that you've ever had. If you are watching this video because you just got a rejection email from a cruise line, I want you to stick with me for 10 minutes before you decide what that rejection means. Because the number of people I know that give up on getting a job on a cruise ship after one rejection is really high. And the problem is, it was never that they were unqualified for the job that they were applying for in most cases. It was that they didn't understand how the recruitment actually worked in the cruise industry. Cruise line rejection emails do not say, you're not suitable for this. They say, your application was unsuccessful at this time. And the last part of that sentence is really important. And here's the other thing about those emails. They never tell you why you got rejected. You very rarely get, we chose someone with more experience, or we're not currently hiring people from your region, or even your CV was missing a certain certification that we need. You get unsuccessful, which means you have no way of knowing if there was a problem with your application, if there was a problem with how you were in the interview. Was it the timing? Was it your nationality? That's why people find my academy so useful, because we do mock interviews and I can actually give you feedback on where you're going wrong. Is your application the thing that's wrong? Is your interview style the thing that's wrong? And just a quick plug, that's why people find my academy so valuable, because we do mock interviews. I take a look at your application and I can tell you whether there's a problem with your application before you send it anywhere. I can give you feedback on your interview style so that when you go for your real interview, you know exactly what to do, because you'll never get that feedback from a cruise line or a recruitment agency. So this video is about what a rejection from a cruise line actually tells you, because there are 5 reasons that you could have got rejected from a job that have nothing to do with whether you could actually do the job or not. Now, if you apply for a senior officer position with no maritime qualifications, or a head chef role with no kitchen experience, then the rejection is telling you something useful. But I bet that's not the issue. I bet that you're applying for jobs that you're qualified to do. So reason 1 is going to be timing. They hire in waves, and this is tied to specific ships, specific itineraries, specific dates. When a ship has its crew complement full for a few contracts, recruitment for that ship pauses. If you apply during one of those closed periods, obviously you get rejected. But the same application 6 weeks later, when they're open again, might result in you getting an interview. So this is why applying to multiple lines simultaneously rather than applying to one line and waiting is so important. Different cruise lines have different ships, different schedules, and therefore different recruiting processes. So the chances that all of them have no vacancies for the role that you want to do on board is very unlikely. Reason 2 is nationality. And this is the one that really surprises people if they haven't worked in the industry. Some cruise lines have nationality preferences or quotas for certain roles on board. These preferences can mean that your application might get rejected before anyone has even looked at your experience. Cruise lines are registered in specific flag states, countries whose maritime law governs the ship. The crew come from all over the world, but cruise lines have established hiring pipelines with specific countries for specific departments. And these pipelines exist for a combination of reasons. Language requirements, cost structures, bilateral labour agreements, and simply for the fact that a cruise line has been hiring from a specific country for decades. So they have trained agents, established onboarding processes, and proven supply chains there. Now, what this means in practice is a cruise line might be hiring housekeeping staff predominantly from the Philippines, for example, F&B staff from India, and entertainment staff from the UK or the US. Not because candidates from other nationalities are unqualified, but because that is the pipeline that's currently operating for that role on that cruise line. So if you are applying for a role that's being recruited from a place that you're not in, you might be rejected simply because you're not in that pool of people that they're selecting from. And the solution is not to be discouraged by this, although that is really difficult. The solution is to know which cruise lines are most likely to hire from your country for the role that you want. And then you want to target those cruise lines first. And this is difficult to know because every cruise line does it so differently. So like, I have mentioned many times before that one of my favourite things about Virgin Voyages is they had so many different nationalities within one department. So that was really lovely. But if you're not sure which cruise lines hire from your region for the role that you want, that research is worth doing before you send out your next application. Reason 3 is pathways and concessions. I would say this reason is the one that causes the most unnecessary rejection, because almost no one who's applying for their first job on a cruise ship knows that this exists. And that is, not every department on board a cruise ship is actually ran by the cruise line. Some departments are operated by third-party companies called concessions. So the cruise line's name is on the ship, but the company running the department is different. And that means that the hiring done for that specific department is done completely different. And that means that the hiring done for that department is done completely separately to the cruise line's general recruitment process, which is really confusing. The clearest example is the spa. If you are a beauty therapist, a massage therapist, a fitness instructor, medi-spa doctor, acupuncturist looking to work on a cruise ship, you can't apply directly to Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, or Celebrity Cruise Line. The spa on most cruise ships is run by Steiner Transocean, which is the largest spa concessionaire in the cruise industry. So they recruit their own staff, they run their own training, and hire independently from the cruise line. So your application to Royal Caribbean to be a spa therapist was received by Royal Caribbean, but then they thought, we don't handle the spa. So you got rejected. Not because you weren't qualified, because you applied to the wrong place. And this is not the only example. Photo departments, casino departments, art departments are also ran by third-party companies, along with a whole load of other departments. So before you apply for a role on a cruise ship, it's worth spending 20 minutes finding out whether that department is ran directly by the cruise line or whether they use a third-party company. But it is really difficult to know because, for example, MSC cruises do their spa internally, whereas pretty much every other cruise line do their spa through Steiner Transocean. But it's important to know this because this single piece of research could be the difference between you getting rejected and not getting rejected, simply because you applied to the wrong or the right place. Reason 4 is application quality, and this is of course the one that you have most control over, which is also why I want to spend some time on it. Cruise lines, especially the larger ones, receive an enormous amount of applications. Some receive tens of thousands of applications a year for a relatively small number of positions. And with that volume, recruitment teams are not reading every application carefully. They are scanning for signals that can tell them very quickly whether this application is worth their time. If your CV is formatted in a way that buries relevant information, or if your covering message doesn't state the role that you're applying for and the experience that you have that is directly tied to it, your application might be filtered out before anyone has even engaged with the substance of what you have to offer. And that's not unfair, that's just the reality of high volume recruitment. And it means that a poorly presented application from a well-qualified candidate can actually produce the same outcome as someone who's unqualified for the role. So specific things that matter for your cruise ship application: state the role you want clearly. Like in that first piece of text, you want, I'm applying for this role and this is my relevant experience. Like first thing that they see. They do not want your full work history. I don't care if you've had 25 jobs before. Don't put them all on there. You only want to put the ones that are relevant to the job you're applying for. And then if they want to know more, they can ask in the interview. But you're not going to get an interview if you list every single job that you've ever had. And if the role that you're applying for requires you to have certain qualifications like an STCW qualification, make sure that is listed and it's really visible. Because if they can't see fast enough that you've got the relevant certifications, they might reject you just because they didn't see that you've actually got the STCW qualification. And application quality is one thing on this list that you can fix immediately. It's also one thing that you can genuinely not evaluate completely on your own, because you cannot see your own CV the way a recruiter sees your CV. And you cannot hear your own interview answers the way a recruiter is going to hear your interview answers. And that is exactly why we do the mock interviews in my academy, Sail for Success. You submit your application materials, I go through them with you, I tell you what's good, what's bad, I tell you what's working, what's not, and what specifically you need to change in order to get the job that you want to get. So if you are about to apply again for a job on a cruise ship and you're not confident that your application is as strong as it could be, this is the place to start. So I'll link it down in the description below. Click on it, see what you think, and let me know. Which brings me on to reason 5. Most people apply to one cruise line at a time. They wait, they get rejected, And then they internalize that rejection and use it as a reason to say, it just wasn't meant to be, and they stop trying. But that is not how this industry works. There are so many different cruise companies, there are so many different recruitment agencies all over the world, and those cruise companies have multiple different cruise ships. So if you apply to one and you get rejected, that does not mean that you're going to get rejected from every other cruise line. And I'm a big believer in like everything happens for a reason. So maybe the reason you got rejected from Royal Caribbean, for example, is because you're supposed to work on Virgin Voyages or Silversea or something. But unless you apply, you're never going to know. And as we said in the beginning, every cruise line, every recruitment agency has different hiring schedules, different things that they're looking for at different times in the year, different nationalities. So you want to be applying for as many as possible. You want to cast your net wide. If you're serious about getting a job on a cruise ship, I don't just want you to focus on one company, which I know is really difficult. Like, I have lots of people who come to me and say, I want to work for Virgin Voyages. And honey, I get it. Virgin Voyages is amazing. But so is so many other cruise companies out there. And I don't think you should rule them out. If you want to work on a cruise ship, be willing to apply for everything. This is what I said to my friend a few weeks ago when she was applying to work on airlines because she wanted to be cabin crew. She was like, I'm applying for this specific airline. And I'm like, why? There's so many different airlines. Apply for all of them and see which one you get. And then you can make an informed decision. So here is what I would do after a rejection right now. First, identify if the department you're applying to work in is run by the cruise line or is run by a concession. Secondly, you want to identify 3 to 5 different cruise lines that are likely to be hiring from your region for the role that you want. And you want to apply to all of them at the same time. Do not wait for one to respond before you apply to the next one. Thirdly, look at whether there is a legitimate crewing agency that hires for the role that you want. A good agency has relationships with multiple different cruise lines, so they are able to submit your profile to several cruise lines at once. Please make sure it's legitimate. I have a separate video on how to spot scams because unfortunately there are a lot of recruitment agencies that, well, they're not recruitment agencies, they're scam artists posing as recruitment agencies. So please don't fall into that trap. And fourth, you want to review your application. CV format, cover message, certifications listed. Now, if you're not sure how to assess it yourself, that is what the mock interviews and the application reviews are for in Sail for Success. We'll have experienced and unbiased eyes on your interview performance and your application so that you know exactly what you need to change in order to get the job that you want on board cruise ships. And fifth, if you are going to apply again to the same cruise line that sent you a rejection email, you want to wait 60 to 90 days before applying again. And you should apply again. Don't just take no for an answer. Wait and apply. The rejection email you received told you one thing: that the cruise line did not have a space for you in their current recruitment cycle. It did not say you are not suitable for the role. It did not say you will never be hired by a cruise line. So if you are ready to apply again and you want to make sure that you're not in this position a second time, not knowing why it didn't work or why your application got rejected, that is what my academy, Sail for Success, is built for. Mock interviews, direct feedback, 86 lessons walking you through the process from first starting and finding what job you want to do on board to actually getting you on board your first cruise ship. So if you do want to know more about that, the link will be in the description down below, and also the link to my free masterclass on my website, which is going to tell you everything you need to know about getting a job on board cruise ships. Now, if you have any specific questions about your situation, you can email me at lucy@cruisingiscrew.com, DM me on Instagram, or pop it in the comments. But thank you so much for being here. I really, really hope you have found this video helpful. I hope you're having a great summer. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.